Hello and welcome to a new video. In this video we are going to do a deep dive into the Druid class to answer the question if you should play a nature-loving shapeshifter on the upcoming Classic Plus server Project Epoch. So let's dive in. The Druid got a lot of interesting changes on Project Epoch. Feral Attack is a complete new passive ability which changes the Druid completely. All equipable weapons now will receive additional Feral Attack power based on weapon DPS. This is a new bonus stat which allows you to scale off your weapons as a Feral Druid and gives a wider access to weapons. Great change. Druids are also able to wear polearms on Project Epoch. Another great change is the adjustment of on-hit effects. Feral Druids can now take advantage of hit weapon effects for complete new playstyles. Another cool thing, you don't have to leave your shapeshifted form anymore to use consumables. You can now drink potions and consumables in your animal forms. Wolf's Head Helmet no longer grants its bonus energy or rage effect, instead this power got moved into a talent, more on this later on. On Project Epoch all your spells have a raid-wide effect, and for the Druid this means buffing Gift of the Wild will apply it to your whole raid. Also, Tranquility is now healing your whole raid, and Life Bloom got adjusted to level 60. A complete new spell is Overgrowth, which applies Rejuvenation to your target and that targets party member within 25 yards. This is now a talent inside the Restoration tree. Another spell is Revive, which allows the Druid to rest party members. This is a nice quality of life update. Barkskin is off the global cooldown on Project Epoch, so you can use it while you cast other spells. Tiger's Fury is now also working with your bleeds. Every time you do bleed damage, this causes the effect of Tiger's Fury to stack up by 1 up to 10 times. If we look into the talent trees, we start with the balance tree. Celestial Focus got updated. The spell pushback effect now is also working on Starfire, not only on Wrath anymore. Lunar Guidance got buffed. It now increases your intellect by 3% of your spell damage and healing by 10% of your total intellect. Balance of Power now increases your chance to hit with all attacks and spells instead of only spells as it was before. Moonkin form also got updated. It now increases the spell critical chance of all party members around you by 2% and your spell critic strike chance by an additional 3%. After you receive damage, there is now a chance to enrage you. This enrage effect gives you a buff which decreases spell pushback and it increases your attack speed. A bit off to send Moonkins to melee range, but it shall help you to get mana back by auto-attacking probably. Force of Nature now is not spawning at you anymore. It's a grounded spell now, which should attack your target immediately. In the Feral tree, there is only one change at all which affects Leader of the Pack. It now increases the critical strike chance of all party members by 2% and in addition your own melee critical strike chance is increased by an additional 3%. Inside the Restoration tree, one of the best changes is the buff of Furor. This talent now gives you 15 rage when you shift into bear form or 60 energy when you shift into cat form. This is the previous effect of Wolf's Head Helmet built into this talent to enable power shifting. Overgrowth is the new custom heal on the third row. The Capstone talent, Tree of Life, got adjusted, so you are now also able to cast non-healing restoration spells on top of its previous effect. We will start with a leveling build. For a leveling build you want to go into Feral, you want to take 5 points into Ferocity, to reduce the cost of your Maul, Swipe, Claw, Rake and Mangle ability later on, 3 points into Feral Instinct to reduce the chance you will be detected while being in stealth and cat form, 2 points into Brutal Impact to get a longer stun duration, 2 points into Feral Swiftness, this increases your movement speed and your chance to dodge. Of course, Feral Charge is a great ability to have, Sharpened Claws to increase your critical strike chance, as well as 2 points into Primal Fury to gain additional rage anytime you crit in bear form or add another combo point on critical strikes in cat form. 3 points into Predatory Strikes to increase your attack power overall. Verifier Feral, absolutely great ability to decrease the armor of your target. 2 points into Savage Fury to increase your damage, as well as 2 points into Nurturing Instincts to increase your healing spells. While leveling, this is great to have. 5 points into Heart of the Wild to increase your stats overall, and of course Leader of the Pack, a great ability, and for leveling also improved Leader of the Pack is great for your self-heal. You want Survival of the Fittest as well to increase your attributes. 5 points into Predatory Strikes to increase your damage from critical strikes and your chance to avoid AoE damage, and Mangle. On Restoration, you obviously want to go Furor to enable shapeshifting. 3 points into Natural Shapeshifter to reduce the mana cost of all your shapeshifting spells. Naturalist increases your damage in all form, as well as reducing the casting time of your Healing Touch spell, which is great for regeneration. Omen of Clarity is awesome for its clear casting state, and Intensity for 30% more mana regeneration while casting, and an instant Enrage from Enrage. Your last point can go wherever you want. I prefer Nature's Grasp for leveling. For endgame, as a Feral Druid, you want to go 5 points into Ferocity, again to reduce the cost of your spells. 3 points into Sickheit to increase your armor contribution from items for better tanking. 3 points into Feral Instinct as well to increase your threat and reduce the chance you will be detected while being in stealth. 3 points into Sharpened Claws again for the crit, as well as Feral Charge for your charge and Feral Swiftness. 3 points into Predatory Strikes and 2 points into Shredding Attacks to reduce the cost of your Shred, great damage ability, and the rage cost of your Lacerate for tanking. Primal Fury obviously, as well as Fairy Fire, Savage Fury, Out of the Wildness, Survival of the Fittest, Leader of the Pack with the improved talent points in it, 5 points into Predatory Instincts and Mangle. This will be your Feral tree, and now we go into the Restoration tree, once again Furor to enable power shifting, as well as Natural Shapeshifter and Naturalist for its damage, and 1 point into Omen of Clarity. This is your template for playing as a Cat DPS or even as a tank in endgame and dungeons or raids. You have 3 more points which you can put wherever you want to. This is up to you. For example, I would go 3 points into Intensity to allow your mana regeneration to go on, but put those points wherever you want. If you want to play as a Moonkin later on, you put 5 points into Starlight to reduce the casting time of your Wrath and Starfire, 2 points into Focus Starlight for more crit, as well as 2 points into Improved Moonfire to increase its damage and crit, 1 point into Nature's Grasp to go on here on the tree, Insect Swarm for your dot, and Nature's Reach to increase your range of your balance spells, 2 points into Brambles to go on the tree, 5 points into Vengeance, which is just great. For leveling, you can take Celestial Focus here, but with your Moonkin form and your Enrage effect later on, in endgame you won't need this talent anymore. For PvP, you obviously want this. 1 point into Nature's Grace to reduce the casting time of your spells, 3 points into Lunar Guidance to increase your intellect by a large amount, Moonglow to reduce the mana cost of your spells, as well as 5 points into Moon Fury to increase your damage, 2 points into Balance of Power to increase your hit chance, Moonkin form obviously, you will absolutely need this. 3 points into Dream State for more mana regeneration, 3 points into Improved Fairy Fire, everyone will love you for this debuff, 5 points into Wrath of Scenarios to increase the damage of your Starfire and Wrath, and Force of Nature. Then you can go 5 points into Improved Mark of the World to get the full buffed effect of it, 3 points into Improved Shapeshifting, and now you can take 2 points into Naturalist to go on in the tree, 1 point into Omen of Clarity. You are more in melee range now on Project Epoch as a Moonkin, it seems like, and 3 points into Intensity for your mana regeneration. With this tree, you can play as a Moonkin in PvE, endgame raids, and dungeons. If you want to play as a endgame Restoration Druid in PvE, you can put 5 points into Improved Mark of the Wild, 5 points into Nature's Focus, 3 points into Natural Shapeshifter, as well as Naturalist here, 2 points to go on, Omen of Clarity, as well as your new buff, your new heal Overgrowth, 3 points into Improved Rejuvenation, 3 points into Intensity, obviously you want Nature Swiftness, Tranquil Spirit to reduce the mana cost of your healing spells, Gift of Nature to increase all of your healing's effects, 5 points into Improved Regrowth to improve the critical strike chance of your regrowth, 2 points into Improved Tranquility to reduce the threat, Swiftment, great heal, Natural Perfection, you can take this because why not, 3 points into Living Spirit to increase your total spirit, awesome talent for restoration, 5 points into Empowered Rejuvenation to increase your healing, and Tree of Life obviously for raiding and endgame. I forgot Empowered Touch here. You obviously want this to improve the power of your healing touch, as well as 5 points into Subtlety to reduce the threat of your spells. So as a Restoration Druid for PvE in dungeons and raids, you go full Restoration. If we look into PvP, You want to play as a Restoration Druid, and you have a lot of different ways to play this. One example of playing as a Resto Druid in PvP would be 5 points into Furor. You want this talent because you want to have instant rage to use your feral charge, what we will get later on. Natural Shapeshifter because you shapeshift a lot to remove the effects of CC. 2 points into Improved Mark of the Wild to go on. 3 points into Intensity. You want your mana regeneration as well as Subtlety to reduce the chance of your spells being dispelled. Omen of Clarity is great as well as the new heal effect. Nature Swiftness, you obviously want this as well as 3 points into Improved Rejuvenation. 5 points into Gift of Nature for more healing effect. Now we can put 1 more point into Improved Mark of the Wild to go on the tree. We take Swiftman as well as Natural Perfection, great talent for PvP, and Living Spirit, 1 point into this. Then we go 2 points into Empowered Rejuvenation, only 2 points because our other talent points need to go in the other trees. We don't want to take Tree of Life here. Feral Aggression and the Feral Tree to go on to Feral Instinct to not get detected by stealth, as well as Brutal Impact for longer stuns. And Feral Charge and Feral to enable even more CC. Nature's Grasp with its full buffed improved Nature's Grasp to entangle someone who is hitting you. 3 points into Control of Nature to entangle even more. 2 points into Improved Moonfire. We want Insect Swarm as a dot and Nature's Reach. This is one template of playing as a Restoration Druid on PvP, for example in Arena, but you can adjust the points as you want to your playstyle. Another choice would be a more aggressive way of playing Resto Druid in Arena. This would go like this: 5 points into Furor, 5 points into Naturalist for more damage, 2 points into Nature's Focus, 3 points into Intensity as well as Subtlety, Omen of Clarity and Overgrowth as your new heal. Then we go Nature Swiftness and obviously 3 points into Natural Shapeshifter, and you can put 1 point into Empowered Touch. The other points go into the Balance Tree, 5 points into Starlight, Wrath, Nature's Grasp, Focus Starlight and Improved Moonfire, Nature's Reach and Insect Swarm, as well as Control of Nature here to go on in the tree, Vengeance, and 1 point into Celestial Focus for your chance to stun, Nature's Grace and Lunar Guidance, Balance of Power and 3 points into Moon Fury, now you take Moonkin form, and Dream State. This would be a Restokin PvP build, which is more offensive but also viable to heal. All of this are different choices. As you prefer to your playstyle, you have a lot of options for PvP as a Druid. If we look into the racials for Druid, Human Racial is insanely good for PvE with its Spirit boost for Restoration Druids. As a Feral, you either want to go Troll Racial for its haste buff, or you can go Orc Racial. This would also be a good choice for its polearm efficiency as well as its active damage buff. For PvP, you obviously want to go Undead because it's extremely good to remove fear effects. Another viable choice would also be Orc here for its stun protection as well as the polearm efficiency. So, should you play as a Druid on Project Epoch? Feral Druids get an insane buff with all those new adjustments which make this class really great to play. In a raid, you can play as a Cat DPS and support your raid with your special buffs. You will probably also do good damage with power shifting here, and you can always off tank, or you go as a bear and tank for your raid with raid threat, so you are also a good assessment as a tank for every raid. If you want to play as a Moonkin, you probably only have one raid spot for this open in a raid to support your other casters. Mana seems still to be a problem for this class on Project Epoch. They try to force you a bit to go to melee, which is a bit odd, I would say, but maybe this spec gets more support in the future. Restoration Druids are really great, and you want more than one of this in your raid. With your raid-wide heal effects now, this is really strong, so for PvE, playing a Druid is a great choice. You are also a great leveling class which can level and self-sustain itself, with great healing, stealth and every other good gimmick like movement speed and other stuff. Great class to level and really fun to play. In PvP, as a Restoration Druid, you're one of the best healers there. You can play in Arena, you can play in duels, you can play whatever you want. You can't make a wrong choice with playing a Druid on Project Epoch. You can even play as a Feral Druid in certain compositions, which also seems to be really strong on Epoch here. So, thank you very much for watching. Special thanks goes out to my channel members who support me with their hard-earned real-life money, especially Nerdman, who is a high-level supporter. If you found this useful, consider to like and subscribe. for more World of Warcraft Project Epoch content.